It's another football show, and today we're going to be discussing the Flying Eagles, who kicked off their campaign in faraway Chile with a 1-0 loss to Norway. And with me to discuss that is Kunle Williams, Mustafa, and Mr. Johnny. I'm still Afolabi.
Okay, welcome fans to the fastest growing channel in African football, complete football in Nigeria. South Africa too, if you're still listening. They're not listening here. So let's get straight to this. Nigeria lost to Norway yesterday in a game that they were supposed to win convincingly on form. This is a bigger problem that we have in Nigerian football now. I think the biggest problem that we do have is there's no passion for the sport in the country anymore. Or if there is a passion, I don't see it. The first sign of not being passionate about football is that we don't even have a properly functioning league. And we're busy shouting about Nigerian players now, our best players, who aren't even born in Nigeria, who've never played on the streets of Nigeria, played under the bridge, played where Nigerian football came from. They've all grown up in England. We're talking about guys like Olise, guys like Musiala, guys like Eze. Those guys aren't Nigerian. They're only Nigerian by blood. They're not Nigerian. They've learned how to play football in their countries, and they're doing well. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, we have absolutely no level of creative midfield play on any of our teams. Super Eagles, Flying Eagles. I don't know about the Falcons. I don't watch women play football. Okay, but from what I saw yesterday with the Eagles, they controlled the ball in midfield, but yet they didn't win the game. They controlled the ball. They had tons of shots, no goals. They lost to a bunch of guys. Those guys on Norway looked like they were 5 years old. They were tall guys, though. Those guys were tall. But my point being is that Nigeria resorted to booting the ball down the pitch and playing long ball yesterday because they couldn't figure out any ways to score despite all of their possession. This is a big problem in Nigeria. I don't know. We keep saying it's the NFF and the NFA or whoever. It doesn't matter. There is no culture of football anymore. Our leagues are dwindling. These young men went out there. They lost to South Africa in the Nations Cup. Morocco and South Africa made it to the finals. Meanwhile, yesterday, Morocco beat Spain 2-0, did Africa proud. South Africa lost 2-1 to France, but it took France, which is the best attacking team in the tournament. France had to unlock South Africa's defense through vigorous play. It was very difficult for France to win. What is Nigeria doing? We start off with a 1-0 loss. What are our managers doing? What are our tactics? The midfield looked lost. They had possession of the ball, but going into this, and you said this, Afolabi, the linkage between the midfield and the attack is rubbish on the Nigerian team. What are your thoughts, Afolabi? What were your thoughts on the game? Give us an analysis.
Yeah, like you rightly mentioned, they had a lot of possession, but there was very little penetration. They were getting into dangerous areas, but their finishing was atrocious. As early as I think it was the 6th minute, one of our attackers balanced to the keeper and he just blazed the ball across. I think it was our number 9. The guy that was really shouldering the responsibility of scoring the goals. We were profligate, we wasted chances, and they started getting desperate, like you said. They were pumping long balls into wide areas to get into the box of the Norwegians. They even had a shot from like 20 yards that hit the crossbar. We had 20 attempts,
Yeah.
and
But,
all
but
of
look,
them were wasted.
do you remember when we were in primary school where people would go, hey, every time a player like in Nigeria shoots the ball and they're shooting the ball like from the level of penalty and it flies over the bar all the way into the stands. That's how these guys were shooting. These
Yeah,
are supposed to be these guys play in Europe and they can't even shoot. Meanwhile, you see guys from France shoot from 30 yards out accurately. We had our number 9, we had our strikers in the box in front of the goal and you shoot it over the goal. No, no. What they say, the school in Nigeria, they used to cane you. The teacher would cane you if you shoot a ball like that. I'm
sure,
serious.
sure,
Where did these guys
sure.
learn how to play
And,
football?
and, and that's
Where?
that was the difference really, because I watched clips of the French game too. They had possession just like we did, about 65 against South Africa, but they could finish. They
And
were
also, they could shoot from long distance. Yeah.
Yes, then they could shoot from long distance as well. Whenever they got into the final third of the South Africans, they were more composed. They were finishing the balls well. And that's
And
what
one
they
last thing,
say.
what France was doing too, because South Africa's defense was good. France was finding lanes to pass that are very difficult to pass through. The way Barcelona used to do when they had Xavi and Iniesta, they
Sure,
had to make very
sure.
accurate passes in tight spaces. Nigeria doesn't do any of that.
No,
All
no.
we do is the way Nigerian football works is put 2 guys on the wing who are fast like Usain Bolt and just lob the ball to them and score. That's how Nigeria plays
Yes,
football.
yes.
What
Wishful play at most. Yeah.
are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah, it's quite sad what's happened to Nigerian football over the years. The days of Westerhoff and the 4-4-2 and playing playmaker and defensive midfielder. And then the under 20s used to be so good as well. And they were a feeder to the Super Eagles. In the last 12 to 15 or 20 years now, the Super Eagles have become less serious, less organized. It's become more of a joke. And although under 20 seems to be suffering now, it's just beginning. It's still better than the Super Eagles. That's not to say it's good, but we're still better on the 20 level than the Super Eagles. But all this bad stuff seems to be seeping out from the Super Eagles to the under 20s. And I'm going to comment on what you said about Nigerian football. There is no style. We used to have a style of play that was unique to Nigeria. And I do
Mhm.
believe it began at the youth levels because most of those youth players were playing for local league teams. So they
Yeah.
had a system and style of play that was recognizable as being uniquely Nigerian. It was something similar to how the olden day Brazilian style of play was, with the European idea behind how they play defensively. What has happened is Europe has now moved to 4-3-3. And Nigeria, because they have this kind of qualities, they immediately go to that style of formation, which requires different style of football. And therefore, you need to reorientate the entire league in that style of football. But that is not going to work because we don't play like that in the local league. And the local league is not developed. I said it before. If I want to develop the local league, they say there's no money. Okay, raise money, sell shirts, let me buy shirts. Where is the shirt I can buy? Where is the biro that I can buy so you can make some money? They don't even know or want to create an interest. Where can I? If when was the last time you went to a club and you saw somebody wearing a Lobby Stars football jersey to go out? There's nowhere to buy them because these clubs are not interested in promoting the love of the game. They're
Kunle,
not. There's no
Kunle,
focus.
South Africa. If you wear Orlando Pirates shirt, they will rob you with a gun and take the shirt from you.
Uh-huh.
That's
Well, I
how much they
mean,
love their teams in South Africa. Go ahead, yeah.
yes, but the point is that if somebody wore that kind, if somebody wore El Kanemi star shirt in Nigeria, half the world wouldn't even know what that's about. They probably think it's some offshoot of Al Qaeda or Hamas or something. They have no idea it's even a football club because they don't even market our sport. And then we don't market our sport, then we degrade it, then we denigrate it, and then we reduce it, we make it less competitive. And then because it becomes less competitive and less attractive, people don't watch it. And when people don't watch it, it loses interest. It loses interest. It loses quality. It loses quality, and it's a vicious
And
circle.
also,
And
also
it's
like you
now
said,
seeping into our international football.
Also, like you said, back in the day, people used to in Nigeria, they would watch Maradona when we were 12 years old. You watch Maradona, you watch Pele, you watch Tigana. Then you now bring that in with the Pele style of football and the style of the local style, and we were developing legends like what's his name, Okocha, who's the most skilled number 10 I've seen all over the world. He was even as good as the European guys, almost as good as Maradona. So, but now we don't have that. This new generation is partly economics. People they don't have time for it anymore. People have worry about the economy is bad. People worry about school. People worry about making money. So we're not having that same legend and passion for the sport. I don't. I think part of it is league. When I was young, we knew so many league. Abiola Babes. Uh, what is it? Shooting Stars and all these guys. Those were big names when we were young. But now with the internet, all we're doing is watching European football. We don't have any local legends, and we're not even playing anymore. The people that are playing football in Nigeria now are people who are very, very desperate, very, very poor. But the middle class aren't playing football either. Like if you look at it in Europe and other parts of the world, middle class kids want to play football too. But now it's just very, very poor guys, and there's nobody to harness what they're doing. Some of them don't even have internet connection, so how can they be watching and seeing who's played? So the economic issue in Nigeria is also a problem. What do you think, Mr. Johnny?
Man, you said it right there. Economic issue is the problem, actually. Because like
Mm-hmm.
what is it? Nigerian football is just like Nigerian life. It's a reflection of Nigerian life, you know. You
Mm-hmm.
just play, just try, play, just play and don't just try and score, just try, just and then you know
Yeah.
there's no
There's no
practicing,
plan. No plan.
there's no tactics
We
in it,
don't
you
want
know,
to win. We would like to
because
win, but we don't want to win.
Yeah, we
and
don't want.
because
They don't want to do what it takes. Yeah.
and do you know why? Because NEPA takes light and mosquito will bite you in this country, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Because we don't
because
care.
why? Exactly, and then you know, and nobody really cares. It's just so It's just sad, actually, just sad. You've got able-bodied people, good-looking people, ready to do the work, and so, but that's it.
And the very few of them that will do well, England will take them. Look at France. France would not win World Cup if it's not for West African boys. Look at Falabi. Did you see that French guy, number 9 or whatever his name?
Yeah,
that guy played unbelievable. Those French, all of them are from West Africa. So because France has money. So now, if you take the average Nigerian and you take them to England, food day, TV day, relaxation day, they'll even be able to train. You get my point? Yeah.
Nobody wants to because under Babangida's time, we had Babangida needed the football team to be good, so it could distract from the nonsense he was doing with his policies. So he used sports washing to clean his image. So that's why under Babangida's time, he made sure that the Nigerian football team did well. So when he wanted to do something mischievous, World Cup comes around, something else comes around that distracts Nigerians. Now, under the present administration, there's no motivation or there's no use to the politicians for Nigerian football, because whether we do well or not, so long as they're able to steal our oil, they don't really care. So they've abandoned it, and it's now pretty much reflects the leadership of government. And as we all know, attitude affects leadership. That's what's going on in NFA Nigerian football.
All right, so let's round this off because we have to go to Formula One. But very quickly, Falabi. So as you said, Nigeria dominated, controlled the match, more possession, more shots, more corners, but spurned opportunities and lack of clinical finishing. What do you have to say, Falabi? That's basically how they lost that game. And also, they had to chase the game after Norway scored that penalty, which was dubious. Talk to all of that, Falabi, then we'll move on.
Yeah, so basically, I feel either they substitute the main striker, because for all the pre-tournament recommendations they made for the guy, his name is Arieri. He was atrocious. He had like 2 or 3 chances with the keeper, and he kept playing it wide. Or it was the main reason why you are wearing a number 9 is because you can finish. So the guy wasted so many chances. Norway was a chance we missed. It was our best opportunity to qualify from that group. And the Norwegian team were not particularly impressive. They just defended in numbers. In fact, their goal was a penalty kick after a video assistance reviewing of which I think was another bad decision anyway. But we didn't cover ourselves in glory because we were profligate. We created chances, but we had 7 corner kicks, but we didn't make any of them count. So they have to work on their finishing and be more composed. I think they were too much in a hurry and in a rush, and they underestimated Norway. Maybe they were just.
What's our next games?
Sorry?
Who else is in our group?
I think we have Saudi Arabia and is it USA or Colombia? Yeah. Saudi Arabia. I know we were playing Saudi next, I guess.
We should beat Saudi Arabia. Then if we can, then hope against the remaining one.
Yeah, I would have preferred.
Here's the problem. They're better than Saudi Arabia, but it could just be a draw again if we don't score goals. You understand what I'm saying?
Win, draw, and loss can get easier. You have to win one game.
Yeah, they have to beat Saudi Arabia, and then they have to play Colombia. And Colombia is going to be difficult.
That's a problem.
Colombia is the team I fear the most because all the South American teams at this level, they have a lot of talent. They are coordinated. They are passing and everything. They can make things difficult for us. Maybe if we can add a bit of physicality anyway, we could overwhelm them. But Norway was a chance missed. Norway was certainly a chance missed.
All right, so let's move on.